All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. Is the jail on the line? They are, courtroom 2. Let's make sure courtroom 2 is present. Good morning, Miss Lewis.
Good morning, Judge.
I don't know why I thought I had Miss Grace and not you, but good to see you. Glad to see
It's okay.
you. All right. Let's begin. This is the state all-purpose calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I am Judge Melanie Williams. Today is June the 22nd of 2023. At today's calendar, we will address cases, take pleas, arraigned as necessary, and check status, reset some for trial. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding. This particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this. When I ask you if you understand your rights, that's what I'm referring to. All right, let's begin. Who do I have at courtroom 2? Good morning, Mr. McLean.
Good morning, Judge Williams. This is going to be positions 12 through 14. Mr. Lipsy.
All right.
Oh, and Your Honor?
Yeah, your announcement. Let me look. I have that this is a negotiated plea for all of these.
Yes, Your Honor, but he is also number 9. That number 9, what is sometimes referred to as an alias name or an AKA name. He says, I never used that name, but somebody did think that that was my name once.
Also, he's Malik Gray as well.
Right, so that's a negotiated plea
Okay.
on all 4.
All right, wonderful.
I
And
think
whose case is this for the state?
Honor, I have position number 12 through 14 for him, and I believe Ms. Stafford has position number 9.
And if I might inquire quickly before, I don't think there's a problem because I had a chance to look at position number 9's offer from the state. And I think it's pretty much in line with and extremely similar to, perhaps identical with the state's offer in 12 through 14. Just double check.
Yeah, it looks the same to me as well, Mr. McLean. And I don't think it makes sense to revisit the position and have 2 different ASGs do the same one. I'm sure Mr. Walker will jump in if he disagrees with me. Perhaps Ms. James, you could do 12 through 14, and we'll just presume that 9 goes along with those. All right. So Ms. Gray, Ms. James, if you would give me the factual basis very briefly. Actually, no, we don't need the factual basis since they're all so different. Let me see. If I shot with it. Can you give me the state's offer, please, at this time? Put it onto the record.
Yes, Your Honor, do you want me to start with 9 or start with 12?
I don't need the factual basis because he has, cases that are so different. If you would just put the offer onto the record and tell me if it pertains to all the positions.
Okay, Your Honor, the offer for position number 9 is 12 months, serve 30 days, credit for time, serve 14 days, balance on probation, and to stay away from the location at 30 Alabama Street, that's MARTA 5 Point Station, and the ADET.
Okay. And what is the offer? Is the offer pretty much the same for the other positions? The only change would be the stay away locations?
There are some differences in some of the offers. For position number 12, there's a $500 fine and an anti-theft course.
Okay.
In addition to, and in position number 13, it's the same.
Okay.
And
14 is, 14, he needs to stay away from all MARTA, is that correct?
to stay away from the location and to adhere to the MARTA restrictions. I believe that MARTA suspended him for a period of time. Mhm.
So he needs to comply with all suspensions. And let me clarify for the record, all stay away locations include the MARTA 5 Point Station, the Peachtree Liquor Store at 300 Peachtree, and the 502 Road Street. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. That's correct.
All right. Mr. McLean, was that your understanding of the offer? And do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue in this case?
It is our understanding, we do so stipulate, it is my belief that on the $500 fine, that perhaps he would need that converted to 50 hours of community service, Your Honor, given the financial circumstances that this pattern seems to indicate.
All right. Let me see. Before I don't have any objection to that. I will convert that fine to community service. Does the state have any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. He's not Gray. I was gonna call him Gray. Mr. Lipsy, I'm gonna ask you some questions to make sure this is a voluntary plea, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give me today for the limited purpose of taking this plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand by taking the plea, you're giving up your right to challenge the evidence. I'm sorry, excuse me. Understand that you're not gonna have any further court dates regarding these charges, and you're giving up the right to have the state prove this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're prepared to waive those rights.
Yes.
And you understand that taking guilty pleas may affect other aspects of your life that we may not be able to anticipate, such as employment or immigration or anything of that nature.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the requirements that you cannot go back to those locations that we listed. You're gonna have to undergo some treatment, take some courses, and complete community service.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna read each of your cases because I don't believe I did that. Your cases are 22 CR 00529, 529G. In that case, you're charged with fare evasion, obstruction, criminal trespass, and public drunkenness. In the other case, 21 CR 004843G, you're charged with theft by shoplifting. In 21 CR 004858G, you're charged with public drunkenness. And in 23 CR 003665G, you're charged with obstruction and committing certain prohibited acts in a rail or bus station. As to those charges I've just listed, Mr. Lipsy, how do you plead?
Yep.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further from either party?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case at this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Next,
right.
positions 15 and 16, Mazik.
all right.
And Your Honor, although it doesn't look like it, we have a 2-for-1 situation on 2122. That's the same person.
Okay.
We
Okay,
like-
but that's not who we have now, right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, okay, understood. All right, Mr. Mazik, you have two cases today, 23 CR 003374D, in which you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of May the 28th of 2023. Your second case is 23 CR 003671D. You were charged with loitering and prowling, obstruction, and possession and use of truck-related objects with the offense date of June the 8th. Do you understand your rights this morning?
No.
Okay, and I have the announcement that this is a negotiated plea.
It is.
All right, Ms. James, if you put the state's offer onto the record.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is offering 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, to stay away from the location, of the Studio 6 Motel, the balance on probation, and to complete the 80 ET program. And that address for the Studio 6 Motel is 9955 Old Dogwood Road in Roswell.
All right. And for position 16,
For position 16, the state is recommending 12 months, serve 60 days, credit for time served. I believe that's 60 days, balance on probation, 40 hours of community service, and to stay away from the location, the Roswell Creek Apartments, and to also complete the ADET program. And that address
Alright.
for the Roswell Creek Apartments is 801 Roswell Creek Lane in Roswell.
understood. Ms. McLean, was that your understanding of the offer? And do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue in this case?
It is our understanding, and yes, Your Honor, we do so stipulate.
All right, Mr. Mazik, I'm gonna ask you some questions just as you saw me do a moment ago. Please raise your right hand so I can place you on the oath for the purpose of taking the plea. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand you'll have no further court dates regarding these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand taking a plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the requirements. You cannot return to either that location on Old Dogwood Road or on Roswell Creek Lane. You're gonna have to complete community service and participate in the course. But you should not have additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail. You understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charges I listed previously, Mr. Mazik, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further from state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case, all right?
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Position 18, Mr. Perez.
Hmm. All right, good morning, Mr. Perez. Your case is 23 CR 003668D. You're charged with obstruction and loitering and prowling with the offense date of June the 8th. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am. And Your Honor, in this case, he is a co-defendant with one of the other defendants today, and it is a conflict.
Okay, so he has a conflict attorney?
We need to appoint him one now.
Mr. McLeod was
Miss-
on the CA counter with him, back here on June the 9th, Judge. So, Ms. McLeod is supposed to be coming online shortly.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll take another position till Ms. McLeod arrives.
Okay.
Are there other conflict positions that need to be held until the end?
Yeah, Ms. McLeod, she has several cases on this counter. She has positions 1 and 2.
Okay,
And
she has positions, which ones, Ms. Lewis?
1 and 2. I guess number, add-on number 2. Number 5 says conflict, but I don't think Ms. McLeod was ever assigned to that case. I think that guy indicated that he had a private attorney and they was waiting for him to contact his private attorney to appear, but I do not see no entry or anything for number 5 on the add-on.
Okay,
And number
On
18,
number add-on 5, we believe that would be a conflict as well.
Simpson.
but we don't have nobody assigned to him. At the time he was on the counter, y'all indicated that he said that he had a private attorney. I've not seen a private attorney ever.
what we'll do is when Ms. McLeod comes on, we'll ask if she's willing to take on that case, if there is a conflict. Are there other conflict cases? Or was that all of them? Okay, who do we have before me now?
This is gonna be position 20, Mr. Simpson, but I'm not.
Right. In this,
Miss-
Your Honor, we'd like to put this towards the end of the calendar we're gonna talk with the state on the phone about a possible counter offer or about a counter offer and a possible different.
Okay, so
negotiation.
that's fine. So let's take someone else.
Position 3, Barber.
All right, Mr. Barber. Good morning. All right, your case is 20, where are you? Oh, there you are. Your case is 23 CR 003653E. In this case, Mr. Barber, you're charged with 2 counts of giving false information at the offense date of June the 7th. Do you understand your rights?
And Your Honor, my client, I think, has a question for me. If we could go on mute for one.
Okay, he has to ask a question. What was the announcement for this case? I have, let's see. Oh, I don't know what I have. I have hold for announcements. There we are. I'm sure Mr. Dotis will tell us shortly what the announcement is.
Thank you, Your Honor. After a further discussion with my client, this will be a negotiated plea.
All right, wonderful. Ms. Stafford, if you would very briefly give me the state's offer and a very brief factual basis, if you can. To
And Your
support
Honor-
the state's offer.
Your Honor, we would stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of the plea.
Okay, thank you. All right, please
Yes.
proceed. Ms.
Yes, Your Honor. State's offers 12 months to serve, 30 days credit for time served, 15 days balance suspended.
Okay, was that your understanding, Mr. Dotis? And you
Yes,
said you
Your
did
Honor.
stipulate.
Yes, Your Honor, that is
Okay.
our understanding. We would ask this court to accept that offer.
All right. Mr. Barber, I'm gonna ask you some questions to make sure this is voluntary, all right? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today for the very limited purpose of taking a plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury? All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea? And you understand by taking a plea, you will have no further court dates about this, and you're not giving up the right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Great.
Was that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I want to just make sure I can hear you. And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life that I can't anticipate, like employment or immigration or anything of that nature. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and essentially the time that you've served in Fulton County Jail should close out this case. So as to the charge of giving false information, Mr. Barber, to counts, how do you plead?
Guilty. Guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further from state or defense?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
No mistake, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
I have position add-on 1, Mr. Davis.
All right, and he's not a conflict case, correct?
No, he's not, ma'am.
And
All right,
Your Honor, I was unable to interview Mr. Davis yesterday. I was told he was in medical, so I would need a breakout room with my laptop. I have a couple more clients and 2 that are in the courtroom, so I'm not sure how jail.
okay. Can Mr. Dotis, are you gonna log in now on your laptop? Oh, there you are. So can we put Mr. Dotis and 3 South in the breakout? And Mr. Dotis, if you want to step perhaps to the back or something,
I'll step into a separate
That might
room. Your Honor.
work.
Thank you.
and we'll take one of Mr. McLean's positions in the meantime.
21, 22. 21, 22 is the same person.
I don't have 21 minutes.
Oh, okay. Kenneth Truitt, I haven't interviewed yet because he was
The
not
only people
available.
I have left for you, McLean, is. Wait, these are those. You have 5, 8, 11.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Is 21 and 22 not gonna be brought today?
Maybe he's gonna be on Zoom. Is that what?
What's the name?
That Michael Thompson, his real name is Gary Tinsley.
Or what's the name on the full sheet or the calendar?
On the calendar, 21 is Michael Thompson. On the calendar, 22 is Gary Tinsley. He is Gary Tinsley.
What's going on? You done? Is you done? Barb, you done?
Yes, he's done.
All right, you said positions 21 and 22.
Right.
And then another name for him is what?
Michael Thompson, 21.
Yeah, but what you said, what's the other name for him?
Gary Tinsley, 22. And he is Gary.
See that name? It's easy. Okay, he's on 4 North.
4 North?
Right.
We have 4 North.
He's on 4 North, but you know, Miss Blunt, she's going to different floors, so you have to wait till she gets to that floor.
Okay, so what you want to tell the judge, you want to tell the judge?
Is there someone else we could? in the
Judge
meantime?
Williams, for positions, 20, you were asking about 21 and 22, so they're on a different floor. We have. the
That's fine.
roster, would have to go back.
That's fine. Can we take anyone else now?
The only cases that I have right now is gonna be Mr. Dotis, and he's on a breakout.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
How about Kenneth? Kenneth Stewart.
That's on.
I see ACDC is on the line. Is there anybody at ACDC?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
I was told position 19 was reset.
Correct.
All right. Why are we resetting position? Why are we resetting position 19 for 1 week?
Your Honor, number 19 is the person who has a couple of holds. Because of the holds, it will not harm her. There's a video I'd like to ask the state to show me. It's a theft case, it's supposedly on video, and I need to see that.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I just wanted to understand why.
Sure.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, are we ready now on this position, Mr. Dotis?
Yes, Your Honor. For position 1 on the add-on calendar, I've spoken with Mr. Davis. I'm waiving his presence and arraignment, and we'll be entering a plea of not guilty.
Okay, you're gonna enter that formal waiver by the end of the day?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll send it as soon as I leave the jail.
All right, wonderful. All right, so that case, the waive reset jail jury. Thank you. All right, guess we need to wait for Mr. Dotis to come back, and then we can take some of his positions.
Here he comes, Judge.
Okay, wonderful.
You have this there. You got the.
Uh,
This is not that.
Position 5, Mr. Dean.
Okay,
And Your Honor, this will be a negotiated plea.
all right, thank you. All right, Mr. Dean, your case is 23 CR 003681B. You're charged with 2 counts of obstruction. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Stafford, if you put the offer onto the record, please.
Yes, Your Honor. State's offer is 12 months, served 26 days, credit for time served 13 days, balance probated and $300 fine.
Okay. My calendar has something that says OP 21. What is that? Is that still something relevant?
No, Your Honor, the state has, after further negotiations, the state has decided to not move forward with that one.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jonas, was that your understanding of the offer? Do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue?
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding, and we do so stipulate to the 3 necessary elements. We would ask, since there's just a $300 fine, that Mr. Dean be switched to non-reporting status upon payment of that fine.
Okay, any objection to not reporting, Ms. Stafford?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, once he's paid, he can go non-reporting. Mr. Dean, please raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you get today? I'm sorry, you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. All right.
All right. Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, I am.
All right. And you understand you're not going to have any further court dates regarding these 2 charges by taking a plea?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And you understand that this taking a plea may affect other aspects of your life that we may not be able to anticipate, such as employment, immigration, or anything essentially that we can't anticipate. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. And you also understand you have to pay a $300 fine, but you should not have any additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail. All right. As to the 2 charges of obstruction, Mr. Dean, how do you plead?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further, Ms. Stafford or Mr. Judges?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing from the
All
state.
right. All right, hearing and seeing none. Best of luck to you, sir.
Yeah, I'll bring it. Would you like me to give it? Yeah.
I do have a quick announcement, Judge. I was
Yes.
told for position 2, add-on 2, will be a medical reset.
Okay. Reset 1 week, medical. Is there room on next week's calendar, Ms. Lewis?
Yes, it's best to set it for next week on the 29th.
Okay. Reset 6/29.
Next, we have position number 8, Mr. Feast.
All right. Mr. Feast, your case is 23 CR 003663F. You're charged with theft by taking. Do you understand your rights today? All right. The announcement I have is this is a negotiated plea. Is that still correct?
Yes, Your Honor, we do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of that plea.
All right, thank you. If you would put the offer onto the record, Ms. Stafford.
Yes, Your Honor. State's offer is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, anti-theft course, and to stay away from 168 Lucky Street, which is Skyview.
Okay. And Mr. Dotis, that was your understanding of the offer and know that you've already stipulated.
Yes, Your Honor, that is our understanding of the offer. We would just request for Mr. Feast to switch to non-reporting status upon completion of the anti-theft course.
All right, he can go non-reporting once completed. Mr. Feast, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. I don't know what's going on with me. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand by taking a plea, you will have no further court dates regarding this charge, and you're giving up the right to have state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the requirements that you're gonna have to complete an anti-theft course, and you cannot return to Skyview. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration.
Yes, ma'am.
As to the charge of theft by taking, Mr. Feast, how do you plead?
Guilty, Ms. Carter.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further, Ms. Stafford or Mr. Dotis?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Feast. That concludes your case at this time.
Thank you, sir.
Position 11, Mr. Horn.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Horn. Your case is 23 CR 003664G, a charge of loitering and prowling with the offense date of June 7th. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This is also a negotiated plea. Is that still correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Stafford, if you put the state's offer onto the record.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's offer is for time served, which is 14 days. And then a stay away from Georgia Tech.
Okay. Was that your understanding of the offer, Mr. Dotis?
Yes, Your Honor. I think the address was 724 Techwood Drive, but just so I let Mr. Horn know that is a Georgia Tech address.
Okay. And you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue?
Yes, Your Honor, for the purpose of this plea.
All right. Mr. Horn, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you to take a plea at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything?
No, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand by taking a plea, you'll have no further court dates regarding this charge?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration or anything of that nature?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you also understand you can't go back to Georgia Tech at that address, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, as to the charge of loitering and prowling, Mr. Horn, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea at this time. The time you served in the Fulton County Jail should essentially close out your case. Is there anything further from state or defense?
Nothing from state, Your Honor.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Horn. Hmm.
Your Honor, we have a request to the state to call extension 2392 regarding Simpson.
Okay. So, if the ASG assigns to that case to give the jail a call, are there other positions we can take while that position is being negotiated?
Judge Williams, the only cases that I have left in courtroom 2 is gonna be the conflicts, and that's gonna be Ms. McLeod, positions 18 and 1 and 2.
Judge, Ms. McCall is currently in Judge Betsy courtroom and she
I
should
saw your message. That's very disappointing.
10 o'clock.
Your Honor, position number 23 is Mr. Truitt. He was not available yesterday because they had switched him over to a different location and said that it was a program he was attending. So we need to talk to him on the phone. I believe he's on a different floor So when he's available, did we say 4 South about him? Is it 4 South?
Sure, it is on 3 North.
3 North. 3 North is Mr. Kenneth Pruitt. And if he could have the deputy call the same phone I mentioned before, which is extension 2-2390.
Well, it's probably not helpful to give it now until they actually get here,
Right.
but. Okay,
Where are they?
Pick up the phone, Mike. I'm trying to call.
Okay, you're trying to call. Good, thank you. Okay. No, I'm Simpson.
well, I guess mute courtroom 2, so we don't hear that discussion. And we cannot, is the phone being taken from 3 South to 3 North? Is it on the move at least, maybe? Okay, well, I guess we will be on a brief recess until such time as we can take another position.
We're ready, Judge, on position 20.
All right, it was briefer than anticipated. We'll go to position 20. Let's see. Is it Simpson?
Mr. Rayfield Simpson.
All right, Mr. Simpson, your case is 23 CR 003648J. You're charged with criminal trespass in this case. With the offense date of May the 28th. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And what is the announcement, Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, this is gonna be a negotiated plea.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. James, if you give me the state's offer.
Yes, Your Honor, it's 12 months, served 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. No further contact with Janisha Carter, the victim, who is the bus operator for MARTA. Stay away from MARTA and to adhere to MARTA's restrictions.
So he has an additional 15 days to serve at the Fulton County Jail. Is that correct?
No.
No,
I think they were negotiating.
he's done
well-
15 and he gets 2 for 1, correct?
2 for 1, so that would be time served.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just making sure what I have is 90 days credit for 15. Is that not correct?
No, we read.
It's 30 days now, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry, 30 days. All right, I thought it still said 90, so I thought it still said 90. Understood. Was that your understanding of the offer, Mr. McLean, and do you stipulate to factual basis, ID, and venue?
It is, Your Honor, our understanding of the offer. We so stipulate to the 3 elements the court mentioned.
All right, thank you. Mr. Simpson, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm, are you raising your hand? Thank you. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today for the very limited purposes of taking a plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yeah.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
Nah.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
And did anyone force you to take a plea?
Nah.
Is that, did they?
Oh, no,
Did
no,
anyone,
nah,
did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
nah. I just didn't
And
I didn't get a chance.
no, don't say anything. Just yes or no. Did you get promised anything for taking a plea?
No,
All right, and you understand the requirements of taking a plea today, that you can't have any contact with that bus operator. You need to comply with all minor restrictions, and you'll need to stay away from that particular route. You understand all of that?
yeah,
And you understand you're not gonna have any other court dates about this charge? And you're giving up your right to have the state prove this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
yeah,
And you understand that taking the plea may affect employment or other aspects of your life?
yes,
All right, as to the charge of criminal trespass, Mr. Simpson, how do you plead?
guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea at this time. Is there anything further, Ms. James or Ms. McLean?
Just to
No, Your Honor.
make sure we reiterate or re-announce the bus route number would be helpful.
The
I have
bus-
that it's route 50, I'm sorry, 50-3. Is that it, Ms. James?
That's correct.
So you understand which bus route you're forbidden from, correct?
Yeah.
Sure.
And if MARTA has MARTA restricted him in its
There are additional
entirety?
restrictions from MARTA. I think they suspended him. I'm not sure for the period of time. I have to check. But he's been suspended by MARTA.
Yeah, I don't write that on one.
Okay, very good. So,
Okay, so yeah, he's not gonna get on MARTA at all. All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Simpson.
Thank
just
you.
wanted to clarify. Thank you so much.
All right, I'm assuming there's no other position we can take.
No, Judge, the only two I have left is Ms. McLeod's cases.
All right. And she should be on in about 15 minutes or so. What about 3 North? Is that phone gonna be taken up to those floors?
The roving officer would have to get to that floor. Once they get to that floor,
They'll log on?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. Hopefully that won't be too long. All right, again, we'll be on a very brief hold. All right, we're ready at 4 North.
This is position add-on number 3.
All right. And whose case is this?
I'm here for the state, Your Honor.
Okay,
I need a breakout.
I'm hoping this is not Mr. McLeod, Ms. McLeod's case.
This is Dotis.
Mr. Jodas, have you spoken to your client?
Your Honor, I was told my client was in medical yesterday. I'll need a breakout room again with my laptop to speak with Mr. Hairston.
Okay, we'll do that briefly. If Mr.
Thank you.
Jodas can have that breakout, please, with 4 North.
No, he's on. Yeah. Yep. Oh, actually, he's south. Probably yours.
Good morning, Ms. McLeod. Good to see you. There are several of your cases on this calendar today, as well as someone who might be a conflict but was not previously assigned to you. Ms. Lewis, who was that again?
That will be on the add-on calendar, position number 5.
Okay,
I
we
think I s-
believe.
Add-on
position-
number 5, Your Honor.
Yes, and we believe this person would be a conflict. And we were asking perhaps you would speak with that person to see if
Tyrone Lindsay.
assist them today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so before we take any others, is number 5 there at the courtroom or no? Courtroom 2 is muted. If add-on 5 is not there, can we take Ms. McLeod's other positions?
I have Mr. Sinnard on position 1 and 2, Your Honor.
There was a couple people that I think they said were yours as well.
Add-on 5 is, Lindsay, right? Tyrone Lindsay?
Yes.
Okay, that's Tyrone Lindsay.
Other
And
than Mr. Lindsay, I only had position 1 and 2, Your Honor.
Right, Tyrone
Add-on 2.
is a new one.
Okay. All right, so is this position 1 and 2?
Yes, Judge, in front of you, yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Aaron, your case is 23 CR 00365 In that case, you're charged with giving false information. And in case 23 CR 00365 you're charged with battery family violence with the offense date of May the 17th. Do you understand your rights today? He's muted. Can we unmute him just for a moment? You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
All right. Ms. McLeod, what is your announcement for these cases?
Your Honor, my client needs to be arraigned because the state's offer on one of his cases is a 365 to serve 365.
Okay, so we're arraigning both cases today?
Yes, Your Honor. And I will be
All
going to jail to speak with him next week.
Okay. All right. So what's gonna happen here, Mr. Aaron, is I'm gonna arraign you, which makes it basically means I'm gonna tell you what your charges are, which I've kind of already done. And you're gonna indicate to me that you plead not guilty at this time, okay? All right, Miss Stafford, will you please put the recommendation onto the record for both cases, even though the Ms. McLeod has indicated that they will not be taking those pleas at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. For position number 1, the giving false information, the state's offer was 12 months to serve, 30 days credit for time served, 15 days balance suspended. Case number 2, battery family violence, the state's offer was 12 months to serve, 365 days.
All right, and Ms. McLeod has rejected those offers. So,
Yes.
Mr. Aaron, you've been formally charged with giving false information and battery family violence, which has been formally accused by the Solicitor General of Fulton County. This case will be now set for jury trial, and the trial will be scheduled by the state court judge to whom the case is assigned. At jury trial, you will have the right to attorney just as you've had today. Ms. McLeod, do you waive a formal reading of both accusations?
Your Honor.
Thank you for that waiver. You will not have the burden to prove these charges, Ms. Aaron. The state represented by the Solicitor General bears that burden, and they will have to convince the jury beyond a reasonable doubt in order to get the conviction. If they do get a conviction, you can face a sentence of up to 1 year in prison or a fine of $1,000 for each charge. And those cases could run either concurrently or consecutively. Based upon the information I presented to you today, do you plead not guilty to these charges? Do you plead not guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I accept your not guilty plea at this time, and both cases will be reset to a jail jury calendar at this time and reset further notice. All right, that concludes your case at this time, Mr. Aaron. Ms. McLeod will speak with you at some point soon, all right?
Yes, and Your Honor, I would ask the deputy to give him my telephone number if he doesn't have it, so he can call me.
Will do, Ms. McLeod.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
Next
right.
is gonna be position 18, Mr. Perez. She's gonna give you.
Perez is gonna meet the cloud the first time.
Okay, and I was told that this is your case as well, Ms. McLeod, Mr. Perez.
What position is he on the calendar, Your Honor?
18.
That's new to Ms. McLeod today.
Okay, so Ms. McLeod, he is a conflict case. and
Okay,
he
so
is not-
he's,
Did you need to?
I would have to speak with him. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
we'll give you a call right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This meeting is being recorded.
And Your Honor, we do have an announcement on add-on 4. I'm not sure if we're taking another case, though. My apologies if I'm interrupting.
We are not, just is
Okay.
right on time. Your announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, for add-on 4, Mr. Herbert, we are requesting a 1-week reset.
And can I understand why? The
I
reset
need
is.
to- Yes, Your Honor, I need a social worker to go speak with him in person.
All right, does the state object to a 1-week reset? All
There is no objection, Your Honor.
right, wonderful. This case will be so reset to the June the 29th state of purpose calendar. It is our hopes that we'll be able to resolve it then and that the social worker will meet well before that time. All right, Mr. Herbert, that concludes your case for today. You'll be reset till next week. All right?
I have
And
position
this,
7, Mr. Edmondson.
okay, and just to clarify, this, for Mr. Herbert, it was not a time serve offer we were looking at, was it?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine. All right, Edmondson, who represents Edmondson?
Your Honor, that's going to be my case as well. That's going to be a plea of not guilty, and I'll be filing a waiver of arraignment.
Okay, and you'll do that by the end of the day?
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Curtis? All right, so Edmondson, is that Mr. Edmondson at Fort North?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, Mr. Edmondson, your attorney has essentially entered a plea of not guilty, which means your case is gonna be reset for trial. That does not necessarily mean that you'll go to trial, but some additional negotiations will take place in your case, all right? So that concludes your case at this time, and I'm sure your attorney will come and speak with you at, okay?
Well, step by, I gotta grab one more other person, I'll be back.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we have, Mr. Tinsley, Gary Tinsley, he's position number 21 and 22.
Okay, so Mr. McLeod announced that these would be negotiated, please. Is he, Mr. McLeod, are you still there? Is Ms. McLeod at courtroom 2? I'm sorry, Ms. McLean. Oh, Ms. McLean, you still there? Oh, Mr. McLean. In the meantime, if your name is Mr. Tinsley. All right, Mr. Tinsley, you have two cases, 23 CR 003667J, in which you're charged with an obstruction and not walking on a sidewalk. And the second case, 22 CR 00663J, you're charged with criminal trespass. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. This proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this. Do you understand all of that, Mr. Tinsley? You do? All right, wonderful. Mr. McLeod, is this still a negotiated plea? You're muted.
There we are, Your Honor. This is a negotiated plea on 21 and 22. His correct name is Gary Tinsley.
All right, thank you. Ms. James, did you put the offer onto the record?
Yes, Your Honor. For position number 21, the offer is to serve 15 days and to give credit for time served, and he served that.
The offer right now?
And on the second count to no prospect, second count, pedestrian must walk on the sidewalk.
Okay.
And for position number 22, the state recommends 12 months, serve 15 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance suspended, and to stay away from the location of the Publix at 950 Peachtree Street in Atlanta.
All right, Mr. McLean, was that your understanding of the offer? And do you stipulate the factual basis, ID, and venue?
Yes, Your Honor, both the defendant and I do understand precisely the terms that the state has offered, and we do stipulate to the three elements.
All right. I'm gonna ask you some questions, Mr. Tinsley, to make sure you're taking the plea voluntarily. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand taking a plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or immigration or anything of that nature?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you understand that you cannot go back to that Publix on Peachtree Street, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But other than that, the time you've already served should close out these two cases. As to the charges I previously listed, one count of obstruction and criminal trespass, plea.
Oh, yes. Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea at this time. Anything further, Mr. McLean or Ms. James?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, that concludes your case. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Judge, did Mr. Dotis have an announcement on the add-on for number 3? I know he said he was talking to him.
I have that number 3 on the add-on is Reset Medical.
My apologies, Your Honor. Jail staff announced add-on 3. That was actually add-on 4, Mr. Herbert, who was the reset for a social worker. I've not had a chance to speak with, add-on 3.
Is add-on 3 Reset Medical or
No, add-on 2 was Reset Medical, and add-on 4 is Reset for the SAP for next week.
Correct. Add-on 3, I haven't had a chance to address yet. I still
Okay.
with Mr. Hairston.
Yeah, add-on 3 and add-on 5 are the only 2 cases we're holding for on the add-on counter.
Thank you for catching that, Ms. Lewis. My apologies.
It's okay.
And on state all purpose, we're holding on position 10s, 17 and 18, and 23.
Yeah, Judge, that's correct on the SAP. Those are the ones we're holding on for.
Okay.
Judge, should I reach out to Mr. Howard to see if we can do the competency calendar?
I'm more than happy to try to do that. Yes.
Okay, I'll give him a text.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I've spoken with my client.
All right. All right, thank you, Ms. McLeod. Your announcement?
He needs to be arraigned, Your Honor.
All right.
He-
Let's see. This is position 18. Mr. Perez?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Perez is his first name.
Oh, it is? Is
Yes.
his name is Perez Gustavo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perez is my last
Okay.
name.
Perez is your last name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
It was his first name.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna arraign case 23 CR 003668D, in which Mr. Perez is charged with obstruction and loitering and prowling. Ms. James, will you put the offer onto the record at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. The state offered 12 months, served 90 days, credit for time served, and the balance suspended, and to stay away from the location of Roswell Creek Apartments.
Credit for how much time? That's the issue.
At the date, it was he had been in for 8 days, and as of today, it would be 15 days, so he would be credit for 15 days.
So they want him to spend 90 days, correct? So
Yes,
it's not a time served offer.
no,
Okay. That's what
You would
I,
have to serve, what, an additional 15 days under that offer?
I
Is
think
that
it's an
the correct
additional
math?
30 days.
an
If we
additional
quoted
30
you on
days.
2 for 1.
Okay. All right, and defense rejects that offer at this time, so I will arraign this case. Ms.
Yes, Your
McLeod,
Honor, we were hoping for time served so you could get out today.
All
But
right.
that's not the state's offer.
Would you like
Your Honor,
to
he
do
he has
another?
a hold. I don't think he's gonna get out today.
I don't have a hold.
He says the immigration hold is not a
It's
good
not for
hold,
me,
that
it's
it's
Oh,
been
okay.
released.
I don't know, Ms. Lewis, can you see if he has a hold?
According to the computer, if they haven't updated, but it shows the immigration hold without bond. That's what it has on
Okay.
on his booking screen.
All right, so we'll reset jail jury at, Ms. McLeod, do you waive a formal reading of the?
I do, Your
act-
Honor.
All right, Mr. Perez, you've been formally charged with willful obstruction of law enforcement officers and loitering and prowling, which has been formally accused by the Solicitor General of Fulton County. At this time, the case will be set for jury trial, and the trial will be scheduled by the state court judge to whom this case is assigned. At the jury trial, you'll have a right to an attorney, just as you've had today. You do not bear the burden to prove these charges against you. The state bears that burden and will have to convince the jury beyond a reasonable doubt to get a conviction. If they do get a conviction, you can face a sentence of up to 1 year in prison or a fine of $1,000 for each charge, and those could run concurrently or consecutively. Based upon this information, Mr. Perez, how do you plead?
I thought I'm confused with the. How many?
You're gonna plead not guilty. You're pleading not guilty, and essentially, Ms. McLeod and you are gonna work together and do some additional diligence on your case, okay? So we're resetting you for trial, but that does not necessarily mean that you'll go to trial.
I was gonna plead guilty. Your Honor.
If you plead guilty, you spend another 30 days in jail. And as I told you, you can plead guilty if you wish to do so. But I thought we agreed that you wouldn't do so.
Your Honor,
I thought we were gonna get another.
Well, if
hey, I think we should come back to this case, and if Ms. McLeod, if you reach out to me.
I have my cellmate.
okay, Mr. Perez, Ms. Perez, stop.
Please do not speak, Mr.
I'm putting my
Perez.
number in the chat to Ms. McLeod. I think you should reach out to me. We could talk, and then maybe you can have a sidebar with your client, and we can circle back towards the end of the calendar.
The problem, Mr. Walker, is there's nothing else to do.
I understand, but I just want to talk to Ms. McLeod briefly.
I would love to speak to you about this case.
All right,
Okay.
so if
Hey, I'm sorry.
all right, we'll be on hold and we'll just wait. Oh, is there someone at 5 South? Is that Ms. McLeod's client?
This is Bernard Mitchell. I don't know who he's representing by.
No, Your Honor.
Is this the case we wanted Ms. McLeod to take?
My number's in the chat, Ms. McLeod. Just
Okay, great. I'll call you.
All right, we'll let Ms. McLeod, go ahead and call Mr. Walker while we figure out. Mr. Mitchell is position.
He's position number 17.
Oh, and he was supposed to have a private attorney?
I ain't saying nothing like that.
He said he don't have a private attorney.
All right, Mr. McLean or Mr. Dotis, was there a conflict that prevents the public defender's office from representing Mr. Mitchell?
Your Honor, he has 3 legal matters, and he was asking me about his other legal matters, but I could only talk to him about this misdemeanor matter. And he had planned on having the lawyer that he's planning on hiring a lawyer for the other stuff. But if he has changed his mind,
I think so. I think he has. Can we put, I guess courtroom 2 in a breakout with 5 South, or can 5 South call courtroom 2?
I don't have a phone.
The number is 22392.
I know what the number is. I don't have a phone.
Okay.
All right, I guess we're gonna have to put courtroom 2 in the breakout. It's okay, we're not doing anything else. We can't take any other cases anyway. So I hate to do that because the courtroom is not clear, is it?
We have Mr. Perez is the only person in the pews, and we have a young man named Mr. Aaron to our side.
Please leave your message.
Okay.
We do have 2 defendants still in here.
Okay, can Mr. McLean, is Mr. Dotis still there?
Yes.
Mr. Dotis, can Mr. McLean use your laptop to do a breakout? Would
Yes,
you have
Your
any?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor. We're used to sharing at this point.
Okay, so we're gonna put Mr. Dotis's laptop in a breakout with 5 South.
All right. All right, yes. This is gonna be time for evaluation.
Excuse me, Judge Williams? Just
Yeah,
quick question. I'm trying to make sure for Mr. Perez, position 18, that's Ms. McLeod's case. Are we done with this case?
no, we're not.
We're going back.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. And it's Mr. Howard. Oh, Mr. Walker's still on the phone. Ms. McLeod, any announcement?
Yes, Your Honor. The state has agreed that he can have a time served plea.
Okay, so it'll be credit for 30 days,
Yes.
credit for third 15.
And
All
he's
right.
indicated that he does want to accept that offer, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll take that case. We can't speak to whether or not there's a hold. There appears that there still is one, but
There
this
appears to
case-
be one, Your Honor. That's what I
But
see.
but this case will not be held. Look, either way, this case won't be holding him in. All right, Mr. Perez, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand, did anyone force you to take a plea?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with Ms. McLeod's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that by taking the plea, you're giving up your right to any further court dates about this case, and you're giving up the right to have the state prove this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as immigration or employment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you further understand, let's see, that you cannot go. What is the stay away location?
Your Honor, it's the Roswell Creek Apartments.
Okay, and you understand you can't go back there, Mr. Perez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Does the state and defense object to me making this an 11-month and 29 day sentence of
Objection,
probation?
Your Honor, since
No.
he has an immigration issue.
Yes,
There's
Mr.
no
Watt.
objection from the state.
Oh, Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna modify that such that it's 11 months and 29 days on probation, credit for the 15 days. 30 days served, credit for 15 days. He's gonna stay away from those apartments. All right, Mr. Perez, as to the charges of willful obstruction and loitering and prowling, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. This case is no longer holding you in the Fulton County Jail. I believe all evidence indicates that you have an additional hold. However, this case is no longer holding you in, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Who do I speak to about that?
The only person that might be able to speak to is Ms. McLeod, but I don't know if anyone else particularly can speak to you about that
You
hold.
can give me a call, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I've just been called to go in before Judge Besson, so may I be excused? I will come back on the other case.
Yes, will you please come back, Ms. McLeod? I think you have one more case we're hoping you can take.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll talk to you.
All right, so, yes.
I'm sorry. I just need a clarification. I know this was a co-defendant case. He was a co-defendant with position number 16. And I just want to make sure I had the correct sentence because position 15, 16. Can somebody clarify how many days he was supposed to serve on 16?
I had 60 days credit for time served, 60 days. Is that not correct, Ms. James?
That is correct.
Okay. I'm just trying to find out where they're getting the 60 days from because the jail's not showing 60 days. It's only showing 15. He's been in jail, so he's gonna serve more time.
Was he booked in on that charge for 15 days?
Yes, he's with the same scenario with the guy that just took the plea with Ms. McLeod.
So let's change it to 30 days. Does the state object to that? Because it appears that on that charge, he's only served 15 days. So can we make it 30 days, credit for time served 15?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Because on his first,
All
on 15, y'all just have 30 days to serve 15 because he had two cases. That's why I was kind of confused with the 60 days. So it's going to be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. Knowledge probated, you do 40 hours community service and stay away from the location and alcohol and drug evaluation.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
No, thank you, Ms. Lewis.
All right, who is that 5 South?
Yes, this is position number 17. And then I have one other person on the north side, 5 North. So when I leave here, I'm gonna go to the north side.
Okay, and who is that person at 5 North? Do you know? Because I'm afraid it's
Let's see.
Cloud's person.
The person on 5 North is Hogan, Cedric Hogan, position 10.
Okay, that's fine. All right, what is the announcement for Mr. Mitchell?
I'm plead guilty.
Not you, Mr. Mitchell, don't speak. Mr. McLean?
Mr. Mitchell's situation, Your Honor, is simply this. He has a felony probation revocation hearing coming up. To plead guilty to this today would completely seal the results of that hearing for which he has hired a private lawyer. I told him he should ask the lawyer if he will represent him in everything together and quote him a price.
So should we reset this case 1 week?
I think 2 would be better because of the date of that hearing. I'm not sure of.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mitchell, I understand that you want to plead guilty, but it appears that there are some outstanding issues that may need to be handled with your other cases, okay? So
Yeah.
we are going to reset this case to
2 weeks out,
state
Judge,
all-
is July the 6th.
all right, it will be reset to July 6th, state all purpose calendar. And try to make contact with your lawyer before then, okay?
It's too long, man. You ain't been on called a free real charge. Like, niggas trying to go on. Like, I ain't trying to get no new charge and none of that.
I understand that. Okay,
But
give
see,
your lawyer.
I'm sorry, Judge. Mr. Lindsay, Tyrone Lindsay, he wouldn't come out, so I'm going over to 5 North.
Didn't we already do that case? No?
No, ma'am.
That was Ms.
Okay.
McLeod's case. We needed a conflict attorney on that case. We was gonna ask her to represent him.
Okay, I'm sorry, which person was that?
That was the number 5 on the add-on case that she said that.
On the add-on, he won't come out. Okay, so let's reset that case to next week. And we'll just let Ms. McLeod know perhaps that we hope that she'll represent that person.
Okay.
Is that the whole add-on calendar, Ms. Lewis?
Besides position number 3 add-on, I'm still waiting for announcement.
Okay, that's fine. So we're holding on add-on 3 and position 10 and position 23, is that correct?
Yes,
What-
ma'am.
Was add-on position 2, Ms. Dixon addressed? I know that's a conflict, but I know that was put on this calendar.
I had medical reset.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Is Mr. Howard on the line by any chance?
He's not. I've texted and called, so I'm waiting for a response.
Okay. Is he at the jail, Mr. McLean or Mr. Doty?
He was in our room here. Now, he may have gone out to get on another electronic device.
Okay. So I would start the competency calendar if he was.
It's normally like that.
Ms. Lewis, can we review the calendar in the meantime?
Yes, we can. Mr. Dotis, Mr. McLean, are you ready to go over the calendar?
Yes, Ms. Lewis, thank you.
Now, I don't have announcements for add-on 3, position number 10, and position number 23 on the original calendar. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do the add-on calendar. Position number 1, waive arraignment, not guilty, reset for trial, further notice. Position number 2 is a medical reset to the next SAP counter for June the 29th. We're still holding on announcement for the add-on number 3. Add-on number 4 is a reset for SAP next week, June the 29th. Waiting for a social worker visit. Position number 5 is going to be a conflict attorney case. But it's going to be set for next week, SAP for 6/29. Position number 6 is waive arraignment, not guilty. Position number 7, same announcement, waive arraignment, not guilty.
I need to file waivers on this, waiver of presence.
Okay, I'm going to the original calendar now. Position 1 and 2, defendant was arraigned, not guilty, reset for trial, further notice. Position number 3 was a plea. Position number 4, defendant was released, case is reset, further notice. Position number 5 was a plea. Position number 6, defendant was released, reset, further notice. Position number 7, defendant waive arraignment, not guilty, case is reset for trial, further notice. Position number 8 was a plea. Position number 9 was a plea. Position number 10, we're still holding for announcement. Position number 11 was a plea. Position 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, all were pleas. Position number 7 is reset 2 weeks out for the SAP counter for July the 6th. Position number 18 was a plea. Position number 19 is reset for the SAP for 6/29 of next week. Position number 20 was a plea. Position number 21 and 22 was a plea. We're still holding on announcement for position 23. Any questions or comments or corrections?
Comment, I believe 23 is 3 South, correct?
I don't know where that person's at.
Okay.
There's been so much conversation. I don't know where everybody's
Right.
at today.
I think we see a 3 South on the Zoom, so we wanted to see about getting their attention, as that might be someone, I don't know, maybe not.
3 South.
They're not at 3 South. She's walking to
Oh.
go get position 10. I believe they're at 3 North.
Understood, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, and all paperwork, please email them to me in a timely manner, and also null pros orders. If you can email those to me right now, that'll be great.
And I'll be in G33 at 1 o'clock, Ms. Lewis. Or
Okay,
maybe a little.
okay, I can bring the paperwork down there for you to sign instead of scanning. them. That'll
I'll
work.
be there at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. I'll do that. Thank you.
Ms. Lewis, are we done with SAP?
Miss Thomas, yes, we're still holding on for 3 other people for announcements. I don't know if they're taking pleas or they're gonna waive their arraignment. I don't know. We're still waiting on position 3 on the add-on, and position 10 and 23 on the regular counter.
Okay.
So
We talking about SAP though, because I
we're
don't.
talking about the SAP. Yeah, we haven't got to the competency counter. So
Okay. Well, I sit tight.
okie dokie then.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, who is this, Mr. Hogan?
Yes, ma'am, it is. His
All right,
position number
Mr.
10.
And Mr. Dotis or Mr. McLean, do you need to speak with him? Are they still there?
They stepped out the courtroom, Judge.
Okay. All right. We'll be on hold till they come back. But at least let me tell you your case, Mr. Hogan, your case is 20 CR 001007B. In this case, you're charged with battery, family violence, hindering a person attempting to make an emergency call, and theft by taking with the offense date of October the 10th of 2019. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding. This proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Dotis, what is your announcement? Do you need to speak to Mr. Hogan?
Yes, Your Honor. If I could have a breakout room with my computer. I think they're about to bring people into courtroom too for first appearance. I have not had
Okay,
the opportunity to meet Mr. Hogan yet.
okay, so if we could put those two in a breakout, that'd be great, thank you.
Your Honor, I do have an announcement for position 10.
Okay, your announcement?
Your Honor, we're gonna be waiving Mr. Hogan's presence, and entering a plea of not guilty.
Okay. So the case will be further notice reset for jury trial.
And thank you, Your Honor, and I do have Miss Attorney Howard in the room. I don't know if y'all wanted to had anything about the competency calendar you needed to discuss, but I think he's got his laptop now.
Okay, one question, are we gonna be able to address the add-on in position 23 today? Does anyone know?
Attorney McLean has left the room to go up to interview for position 23. He was unable to do so yesterday, so we're trying to speed it along and help jail staff by going to interview him on our own terms. For add-on 3, I was unable to interview him as well, as he was in medical, so I'm waiting to see if jail staff will have him on the screen for me.
Okay. All right, we will be, I guess, on hold.
Okay.
awaiting those two cases on SAP. If Mr. Howard, are you there?
Yes, Judge, good morning, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Are we able to talk about the competency calendar?
Yes, Judge, you give me a couple minutes, just get to the officer location, we can go ahead and do that.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So we're still holding on to state all-purpose positions. And we'll try to start the competency calendar if we can.
Ms. McLeod's coming back on now, Judge.
Ms. McLeod, we reset your case that we were going to ask you to take on until next week. It's the case of Tyrone. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So we'll reset it 1 week. All right.
Yes, Your Honor. I did have another one on the add-on calendar as well, number 2.
Ms.
That-
Dixon,
that- yes.
that's reset next week too as well. She's in medical.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McLeod. Take care. Have a good day.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. All right, we are gonna start the competency calendar as we wait for the announcements for positions 10 and add-on 3. If I could be placed in a breakout with Mr. Howard, Mr. Walker, Ms. Burgess, please.
And we also have the SG victim advocate added to the line as well, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Hmm. We are back on the main session for state all purpose. Are we able to, is courtroom 2 here? All right, who do we have at courtroom 2?
This is position 1 and 2 on the conference calendar, Mr. Elijah Allen.
Okay, Ms. Allen, I addressed your case. I spoke with your attorney. Mr. Howard, you still here?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Allen, we've addressed your case. You're gonna receive a signature bond today, and your
Okay.
attorney will give you some additional instructions, okay?
Okay, we'll get out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, I mean, all right, pressure on me. I didn't know it.
Mr. Allen, I'm gonna
Okay.
call, if you could put him on the phone, I'm gonna call over in a minute if I could talk with him. All right,
Well, you can make this quick then.
I will. I'll make it quick.
Okay. All right. What about positions 23 and the add-on 3? Are there any announcements about whether or not we're gonna be able to see those individuals today? And Mr. McLean, if you're speaking, you're muted.
23 is going to need to be a reset, Your Honor, because he cannot come out of the cell at this current time.
He's currently what?
He cannot come out of the cell at this current time, so he's going to need to be reset.
He's refusing to come out, or he can't come out?
Well, I think the deputies are not pleased with him right now for some reason. I don't know any details, so. the best-
Was this a time served plea?
It
Did he have-
is. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Is there no way he can be brought today?
I'm looking at one, all right. I've been told there's no way for me to see him today. I've been told there's not going to be any way for him to be brought. So we'll just attempt our best to see if we can talk to him.
Okay.
He was said to be in a program yesterday, so I was thinking, geez, in a program yesterday, I think it'd be pretty good.
Okay, so Ms. Lewis, I hate to ask this, because this is a time served plea, is there any room on Tuesdays? For our purpose? No?
I
We can
have to
squeeze
do
them
a
in, Ms.
whole
Lewis.
add-on counter. Huh?
We can squeeze them in.
I have to do a
Well, you-
whole nother add-on counter.
I don't want you to do a whole other add-on calendar, but I also, it's a time served plea. I really, can the jail give me a further explanation about why we can't bring this gentleman today?
I'm not the officer that worked on 3 North. It was up to the officer on the floor. I went through looking for McLean earlier and they wasn't up there, so I came back down.
Okay.
The floor is mental health and it's only one officer on the floor. He may don't feel safe getting him out. I'm not sure.
Only reason I'm asking is if he's a challenge, looks like he would be getting out and not be a burden to anyone else if he could take this plea today. What about add-on?
He's gonna be on probation for this plea too. He's gonna be on probation.
Well,
All right, the jail portion of the sentence is time served, but it is a probation officer offer from today.
okay, well,
I'll call Mr. Walker on the phone.
let's see if we can. What
Mr.
about?
Walker, Mr.
the
Walker,
other-
drop that case, please.
Balance suspended, that's what.
What about the add-on case?
What's that person's name? Because I had 2 different add-on calendars. I don't know which is which.
Ms. Woods was position 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
Harrison, he's the medical, he said, he's up there in medical in the
Right.
cell.
So we just request a 1-week reset for Mr. Harrison.
Okay, so Ms. Serena,
629.
I'm really upset about the position 23.
I mean, I could put him on for add-on calendar. I mean,
I
it'd just be an add-on counter, just be one case on there.
was trying to figure out if we could do it today.
If he's on the mental health floor and if it's a time or no additional jail time, I think it's in the best interest that he takes his plea today if that's what he wants to do.
That's what I thought.
Especially in light of that information being on the mental health floor.
Well, I agree with
Call me
that.
on, if you can call me on 22391.
McLean, they need to bring him. I can't do anything about that.
No,
I'm
no,
not talking about probation. I'm talking about taking the plea today.
I'm gonna
He's
ask you just a favor.
asking you about the balance.
Okay,
suspended
well,
part.
we need him to be present first.
Well, the problem is is there any way that we can get him today by any chance? That would be the court's preference.
Well, I was the only one out there doing these guys, and I would have to take him off the floor to do him. They don't have a computer on the 3 North floor. The computer has been down for over a year. So I would literally have to take him out of the floor area to take him in another section of the jail to do him. And I'm not comfortable with taking him by myself because I don't have any help to do him either.
I'm gonna ask for a special favor over the phone from Mr. Walker.
I'm gonna call you, Mike. I'll give you a call.
All right.
Okay.
2391.
All right. Well,
I could discuss balance probated versus balance suspended, but that's not the issue at hand that we're talking about.
it's not, but can we do a plea in absentia? If Mr. McLean walks up and speaks to him, I'm just trying to get him out.
There's no objection from the state.
Okay, so we can Mr.
Well,
Mr. Howard?
what we can do, I'm outside. Let me see if I can go up there and actually get the paperwork done. And then we can do it. Blunt, you saying that they can't be put, nobody could take a phone up there to 3 North, maybe, if we're able to get the paperwork
If
done?
I can get a phone, I'll try going up there that way, but I'm not gonna take him, I'll take him to 3 South to another floor by myself.
Right, okay, so let me try that, Judge. We can try that out. I'll come in and see if we can go up and try to get the paperwork done and have him
Okay.
get. All right.
And again, the court does not object to him. If he cannot be brought, if you speak to him, I don't object to doing a plea in absentia in light of the situation. It's explained to me today, okay? So let's be on a hold and see if this is all possible.
All right.
Mr. Howard, you still got this guy waiting on your phone call, so I can take him back while I got him.
Okay, I called, but nobody picked up.
Okay.
And Mr. Walker, is it gonna be balance suspended?
That's fine.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So I'm calling now, Blunt.
All right, thank you everyone for your patience. All right, it's nearing 12 o'clock and I do need to make my way downtown for another calendar. What I'm going to do is if Mr. Howard and Mr. Dotis are able to get the paperwork signed, the court will accept it as a plea in absentia. If we do not receive the paperwork by the time I leave the civil calendar at the end of the day, he will be reset specially just to take the plea at the SAP calendar next Tuesday. And thank you, Ms. Lewis, for being willing to print that one page. All right. All right. So that's going to conclude State Off Purpose. I will see some of you all shortly. If not, we'll be in recess and we'll see you all next week. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.